Good afternoon, everyone. Oops. I'm Rashida Abul Hassan, one of the conference directors, and I have been given the opportunity to introduce our keynote speaker for this afternoon, who just flew in all the way from India this morning, and quite a number of people are waiting for her talk. So I'm not going to take too much of her time by giving her a long introduction. She says just 2 sentences, but I'll do more than that. Now, she will be presenting on India's ONOS, which stands for One Nation, One Subscription, and beyond, equitable access to knowledge resources. And the person who's going to give us that talk is Professor Devika Madalli, who is the director of INFLIBNET, UGC-IUC Gandhinagar. Prior to joining INFLIBNET, Dr. Madalli has served as a professor of the Documentation Research and Training Center, Indian Statistical Institute, and as an adjunct faculty, DISI, University of Trento, Italy. Dr. Madalli has extensive experience in teaching, research, and capacity building. Her interest lies in the area of open educational resources and educational resources repositories. Without further ado, may I welcome Professor Devika Madalli.
Good afternoon. I am the only one with energy because I had a good sleep earlier in the day. You guys have been going on and on. I can see your tired faces, so I will not bore you. That is a promise from me. You can stop me at any point in time and interact with me if you want to. So I would like to start by thanking the organizers of Charlton conference, which is for the first time in Asia. And they contacted me quite a while back and tried to get me. And I could not immediately give my dates, but they have been very patient with me. Thank you. Thank you to Dr. Barter, iGroup. Thank you to Professor Pitwa Chanchuran, I never get these names right, President of the Swan Dusit University, Leah Hinz, and Professor Rashida Bolhassan for your kind introduction. With that, people have been scaring me that they're all very much looking forward to this and they want to have some questions on India's ONOS. So I just want not to give a bland lecture here today, or just relate to you the things that we do. ONOS is one, maybe the largest initiative that we undertook of late at INFLIBNET, but there are and beyond part of it. There's a lot other things that we do to enable access to knowledge across higher education institutes and scientific libraries in India. So that, in short, is what I'll be touching upon today, and I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. Thank you. So we are INFLIBNET, which stands for Information Library Network of India. It was established in 1991 in a project mode, and we were taken as a body of UGC, the University Grants Commission, as an inter-university center, right from 1996. So by mandate, when we were established, our mandate was to network the academic libraries in India. And when I say academic libraries in India, we network about 1,200 libraries, small number, okay? So that was our mandate, and that's what we've been doing. We have several verticals, and we offer, for the first time, I'm using this term, open services. You must have heard open access, open science, open databases, and we offer what we call open services to the Indian academia. And we do that under these 10 verticals: the library automation, access to scholarly resources. We have several open access initiatives. We've built scholarly networks. We have e-learning initiatives. We do a lot of LIS and ICT skill development. Plus, not only these are directly for the academic HEIs, the higher education institutes, but we have transformed ourselves to give support even to the entire HEI sector, not only the libraries, and also those platforms have matured enough. Now we give services to UGC itself and the ministry for running various of their platforms also. So those are also listed over here. One of the important things that we do is handhold the India rankings exercise. As we speak, we have done 10 editions of India rankings now. And we support the MOE, the Ministry of Education funded projects, and several other government initiatives also. So as I said, the SOL, the library automation software for university libraries, is our major offering for the academic libraries in India. It's freeware, and we charge an AMC at cost recovery only, and even that is waived off many times when the universities cannot afford that. So it's practically a near free solution. So the SOL, as we speak, is about 4,500 to 600 installations in India, which we handhold, which we customize, install, customize, and also give all the technical support that is required to all these 4,500 participating institutions. Since we have the SOL, we've also built the Union Catalog of India of bibliographic records, joining together all the bibliographic records that come in this library automation software. And as we speak, we have 2.6 million bibliographic records. And these, by far, are in English. And after I joined the team at INFLIBNET, we are thinking of making these in Indian languages also. And we have embarked on that service, where we have started collecting the records in Indian languages, which is at present 1.8 million records in various Indian languages. We don't collect this and keep it as a static thing. We allow the students or researchers across India to search this, and then if they locate the book at some distant library that they are interested in, we have a subroutine where they can request for the book. Now, if that library is in agreement for ILL with the other library, then the ILL can go through. So that kind of closing the loop thing also we do. Doesn't listen to me? Where do I point? Okay. So about the consortia, we have quite a bit of experience, I can say, to tell you a little bit of backstory about ONOS. The whole thing started in 2003, actually, when India thought about consortia, library consortia. And then the Prime Minister of India refuses to go back, so I just do the storytelling. So approved this project at that time. So there were two things that were happening. There were universities and there were technical institutions. The universities has UGC-INFLIBNET, and the technical institutes had INDEST, the technical consortium. And then in around 2016, these two came together, and this was called as the UGC-INFLIBNET, the E-Shodha Sindhu. UGC-INFLIBNET plus INDEST came together, and this was called the E-Shodha Sindhu project, which existed right till when we started ONOS last year. So when we started thinking about ONOS, I only came on board in late to 2023, but the discussions were already happening for well over 2 years before even I came on the scene. So the thinking was that in India there were about 9 to 10 consortia already working. Many were domain-based, say agriculture, atomic energy, medical sciences, various things were covered. And ours was there for the MOE, the Ministry of Education consortium. About 150 institutions were brought together under E-Shodha Sindhu. Ours was the largest. Also, the DNA, the architecture of E-Shodha Sindhu was what the others used in the country. So practically our systems were, and the platforms were used by the other consortia. There's only one thing that was not happening. These were subscribing to many overlapping resources at differential prices. This was what was happening. So this was the thinking that why don't we bring all the 10 of them together and make it one nation, one subscription, and sort of harmonize and the subscriptions across this. This is how ONOS came into the picture, the One Nation, One Subscription, which is a really visionary project of our Prime Minister of India. About 1.8 crore students, teachers, and scientists are networked through this. And as I said, from 2003 itself, we started as UGC-INFLIBNET, and from 2025 November onwards, it became the One Nation, One Subscription, which includes 30 international publishers. Many of you are here, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our publishing partners who partnered such a good initiative such as the ONOS. So as we speak, we are at the mark of nearly 6,200 something institutions. We expected that we had projected that we go right up to 7,000 participating institutes, and we are working on that. So in the agreement, we can go up to 7,000 institutes under this one subscription. Okay. This is too tired in the evening, I think. It's just not working, or it overworks. Okay. Now that is about ONOS. A little bit more, since this talk must concentrate more on ONOS. In the first phase, what we did, like I said, we brought the resources of 30 international publishers, which adds up to 13,000 journal titles to all institutions across all these 6,200 something institutes across India. Now, what is the significance of this? In India, we have different strata. I'm sure in your own countries, you also have different strata of institutes and universities. Some that really do very well, they are very well funded. Some that are middle, struggling, and then some that are really, really resource-strapped. It's the same in India. We have the centrally funded institutions, we call them CFTIs, which do very well. They are very well funded. Then we have the central universities and such. And then we have the state level universities. And the state level universities are two types. Some are called unitary, which don't have affiliated colleges. The other one is an affiliating universities, which each university will have hundreds of colleges affiliated to them. And these colleges are spread across. So the architecture of bringing all this under one umbrella is not at all simple. It was very, very heterogeneous, and it was very diversified kind of a thing that we were trying to bring under one umbrella. So that was a challenge. But what really was a distinct success of ONOS, I can say, is that it provides a level playing field now. So if I asked prior to November 2025, if I asked a university in a state of Karnataka or any other Gujarat or wherever that we talk, in the rural part, if I go to the librarian and ask him how many journals of international publishers do you subscribe to? So there are many Indians here who are participating, they know the answer. Okay? It would be hardly 2 or 3. Hardly. Okay, 2 or 3, because the price was prohibitive to these state universities. They could not afford. And today, as we speak, these state universities, along with their affiliating state public colleges, have access to 13,000 journals. So it is such a democratization of access to knowledge, whether the college is at now Delhi, the capital, or at a rural part of India, the access is the same. So this is the single most distinctive achievement, I can say, that ONOS has brought to the table. And to the state universities, which were already cash-strapped, resource-strapped, we could not expect them to pay on par with the others. So we didn't take anything from them. They were not charged for this thing. So the design of it was such that the money was pooled into a single purse, but distributed, the benefit of the consortium was distributed equally across the HEIs of India. So this kind of an architecture of a national level consortium, I think, is unprecedented. And that is where I congratulate the team ONOS, which could envisage and which we could bring. Actually, I can now speak very confidently because we are 1 year old. We have faced all the teething problems. Our partners, many of you are here. We together faced all those problems, but in 1 year, it could go through smoothly. Now, what happens at the end of 1 year? At 1 year, we have introduced APCs also. So it's not enough to just give all the scientists the access, but we support them with APCs. So in the very first phase, the discussion in the committees led to us thinking, how do we roll out? There's a small amount, it's not a huge amount of money kept aside for APC, but it is some kind of an encouragement to the scientific group. So we thought there should be one logic, how we distribute that money to the academia. So the logic we arrived at is the top 1% by Scopus Index journals in all the 27 categories of Scopus, whatever the journals fall into the top 1%. So if anybody gets an acceptance in those titles, then we could support them by APC on a first come, first served basis till we exhaust our money. So this was the kind of simple thinking that we wanted to implement. After we have announced this, we didn't find any takers. Of course, the publishing cycle takes time. It doesn't happen like that. If I announce something and within 2 months, I can't expect people to have acceptance in their hand. There are various things. We are aware of that. So since we didn't get much response, we have now lowered the bar. We have made it 5%. The top 5% journals, the Scopus Index journals in all the 27 categories, they are now entitled to receive APC on a first come, first served basis. So that's how we rolled out APC, which we thought should be simple, straightforward, kind of a criterion, which can be universally accepted across India. So that is the other thing that we did in the ONOS. And I also have to say another thing about ONOS is we are working in 3 phases. The first phase we have rolled out now. It is for the state public universities. That means we have central government, public universities and research institutes which are government, and then we have state level also. It means state or province people call them. Those are also state funded universities. Those are also covered, and the government run colleges are also covered under that. So when we did this, naturally questions started raising, what about the private universities? So many people are walking up to us wherever I talk like this or any of my team members talk, then they're saying that the Indian children go to those universities also, or the Indian researchers are the ones who work there also. Why we are depriving them of this? So they, as we speak, our intention was not to ignore an entire sector like the private sector, but we couldn't do everything at one go. Also, that was also not possible because this already cost us 2,000 crores a year for the government, 2,000 crores Indian rupees per year, which is a sizable amount. So we couldn't do everything together. As we speak, now there is thinking in the committee to start discussions about how we could design something like this for the private sector also. As you are well aware, the dimensions differ, the parameters will differ a bit because the private institutions are privately funded or they are self-generating their income or whatever that is, and how they would like to come together and make their own consortium is really now the discussions are on that. So these are the ongoing things with ONOS as we come to 1 year, being 1 year old. We will be cutting the cake very soon. Okay. So coming to and beyond, ONOS and beyond, we have several of our own offerings from INFLIBNET. Shodh Ganga is our database, a repository of full-text thesis, the largest in the world. As we speak, we are nearing 6.5 lakhs the PhD thesis completely in the open access and online. And Shodh Ganga is coupled with Shodh Shuddhi, which is our plagiarism detection part of the Shodh Ganga. So in India, the UGC has mandated that the PhD thesis must be free of plagiarism. And when they mandated that, the universities started saying that they do not have the resources to buy the PDS or subscribe to PDS system. So the government, through the Ministry of Education, has supported this project where we supply from INFLIBNET a software where they can check the PhD thesis is free of plagiarism before they upload into Shodh Ganga. So that is why it is clubbed to that. It is not to be understood that the PDS can be used for anything like conferences, papers, and other things. The other is our Shodh Chakra platform, which is a platform for managing research cycle of the researchers. So right from the day she or he decides to do research, a young researcher decides to do research, till the day they gave in their thesis for evaluation, right? The entire, all the quadrants are taken care of by this platform that we give. The platform helps the researchers, the PhD supervisors, as well as the universities to monitor the entire research process. And there are various modules under each of that. We give a dashboard to the researcher, a dashboard to the supervisor, and a dashboard to the university to monitor the entire cycle of research. Chakra means cycle. Okay? Shodh means research. So it is the cycle of research. So in this, we have got some very distinct feature to help the researchers. For example, if the research student searches resources and she or he is interested in 3 or 4 scholarly articles this week, but PhD happens over a few years. Again, next week they search something, they become interested in something else, and so on and so forth. Now, they should not already lose what they have searched and got together. So we even have My Library kind of feature where they can bind those resources and keep it for the period of their research also. Also, we have reference management, we have notes on statistical tools and methodology. Complete cycle is included at a cost of 0 rupees. We don't charge at all to any of the participating universities. So these are all the kinds of resources we give for the researcher and help them completely through their research cycle. Now, coming to the scholarly network, we have the IRINS, which my colleague today, Kannan, who talked about it in length at a session. And this is a RIM. It is a Research Information Management System based on our Vidwan database. And it is provided, again, completely free of cost because we are supported by the Ministry of Education here. So as we speak, we have nearly 3.2 lakhs of expert profiles on this Vidwan database, which is the backend working for the IRINS. We also, so this is how the Vidwan and the IRINS looks like. We have the faculty profiles. Like I said, it has its own mind. Okay. And then we have the departmental profiles and we have the institutional or university profiles. So like I said, we are participating in the India rankings and we practically do the back-end work for the India rankings. So in India rankings, one important part is to see the faculty of the participating universities and the institutes, their research outcomes, and to see the institute and its research outcomes and its academic outcomes. So that is the place where the rankings takes their data from. We provide APIs and they take. One part of it is also the She Research Network of India, which is aimed at the networking the women scholars and scientists across India. And we have about 1.25 lakh Indian women scholars and researchers network through this platform, which is called Sherni. Sherni is a word in Hindi which means lioness. Okay, so this network is the network of lionesses. Okay, and it expanded. It stands for She Research Network of India. So this really helped because if the women scientists somewhere in one corner of India working in, say, nanotechnology or something like this, genetics, want to find out another women researcher in another part of India working on the same, they never met. So this platform is really helping them to network, to get together and do things together. So that's Sherni. We do a lot of e-learning work. We have, of course, our EPG Pathashala, which is our biggest. We have Vidya Mitra, where we handhold the faculty across India to share their learning materials. We help the Indian government Swayam portal, which is our MOOCs online, the largest MOOCs from the government. And we also help Swayam Prabha, which is DTH-based lessons, where it helps where internet connection is not very robust. So EPG Pathashala, we have developed content in the form of e-text and videos across 70 subjects there. And EPG Pathashala is from us to the academic community. But in the academic community, if somebody feels they have some MOOCs or something to educational resources to share with the entire community of India, we created Vidya Mitra, where they can participate and share their content. This is this also received a national award for networking the faculty. Swayam Prabha, like I said, is something that breaks down the barriers where we take it for granted that internet is available, mobiles are available. It is not so. In certain parts, there are still, it is not very much in the hands of young children and young researchers who want to access content. So this is dish-based. And the content is about school education, higher education, competitive exams, and such things. Of late, INFLIBNET used to run the portal, run the platform, and help them in all, and work as a digital library for them. But of late, we also got a channel for ourselves where we can run courses. And when we looked at the content in Swayamprabha, already there was content on all domains like chemistry, physics, engineering, whatever topics. So we decided to have a different kinds of courses to help them, where we develop the personality development and mental well-being content for the youth of India. So in the very first part, we developed the academic spiritual content with the project Self Bharat, where we bring Gita-based and Vedanta-based lessons for mental well-being of youth, which has become very, very important because the youth in the studying in universities are going through a lot of mental stress, and it's becoming very difficult for them to manage themselves in a better way. We also identified the gap areas where the corporates often complain that the graduates from the colleges and the universities are not job ready. And the corporates and the companies which employ them have to invest a lot into their training, retraining. So we have identified the gap areas between campus to corporate, and then incorporate certain courses which helps the students to fill that gap and be job ready. So we are bringing such content also into our own channel, which is given to INFLIBNET to run in the Swayamprabha. This is the latest one. The INFIMeet is a conference and conference seminar announcement platform. So many of our participating universities started telling us that it's so difficult for them to bring up one website per seminar. Like if Charleston is happening in a university in India, they have to bring up a website for that, and they find it very difficult to do that. They have to contact the IT department or invest certain resources into that. So we give them a simple Google form, like a form. They fill up all the details about their meet, and then it becomes a website for them. So as simple as that, we are just hand-holding them by providing a platform. This is something that is very our latest, and it is yet to be formally inaugurated, the Shodh Prabha. Shodh Prabha is a repository of patents originating from universities of India. So our Honorable Prime Minister, talking to a set of scientists, just asked, what is the research outcome of universities of India? One question. So simple, straightforward. And then we took up the mobile and started searching where we can get the data. I said, don't touch your mobiles, answer me. So we found that there was not one place where we could just go and get the data out. So that led to us developing Shodh Prabha. So Shodh Prabha is the repository of patents of the universities of India. We will not just make this again a static repository, but this will be very dynamic, where we are going to invite the corporates and the companies which can come and look at the patents they are interested to take for technology transfer and monetization, so that we close the loop again there and help the universities to go to the last mile of their research and really make them the patents work in the industry. So this is one of our latest offering. Like I said, we also help the accreditation and the ranking module, ranking in India, and the NAC is the University Accreditation Agency. It is also under the University Grants Commission, and NIRF is the NBA wing, the India rankings. So both of them, we do all this right from running the web applications, registration, data crunching, data collecting, running the actual ranking module, giving the technical help desk, verifying the data about publications, citations, patents. All this is done from our end for these rankings. We help the Government of India in their, these are all flagship programs of Government of India, and these are on our platform. And even the granting of ISBN and the actual assigning of ISBN we are undertaking. And the e-governance the e-governance of INFLIBNET is on this mobile. So it is very mature, and we run e-governance platform for INFLIBNET, and then we give the same for the other organization like UGC and others. We do a lot of LIS and skill development programs, practically 50 training workshops we do, and others also come and conduct their training workshops at our campus. So practically maybe like hundreds of workshops per year we do. So all this we discuss and we throw open to the library information, the higher education community, and we welcome interaction in our Foundation Day every year, which is on 27th of February, which is fast approaching. I take this opportunity to give you an invitation to come and participate in our open day, which is 27th February, where we will introduce to you all our work and have interaction. We also have international collaborations. We run the G20 knowledge sharing platform. We have a formal MOU with the US National Institute for Standards and Technology for multilingual and cross-lingual application, and we are trying the implementation for Hindi. And we are the COP, the Community of Practice for the Confederation of Open Access Repositories. And here I would take an opportunity, and since Charleston is for first time in Asia, call to the Asian countries. All these services that I talked about are free of cost and available. The technology is scalable and reusable by all of you. So INFLIBNET invites Asian country HEIs to collaborate with its initiatives like Shodh Ganga, Shodh Chakra, Shodh Prabha, IRNS, Shareni, whatever you want, open access initiatives and knowledge sharing platforms, and sharing the knowledge and experience of the national consortium, which is based on the ONOS model. If anyone of you want to talk to about any of these, we are always at your service. And this is our research corner. We have this visual at various universities, which is QR coded, and the students can just point their mobiles at the code and access us directly. We also do outreach by a mobile app, the INFLIBNET mobile app. Please, you can all download this. It is available on iOS and the Android. We have also a WhatsApp agent and answers the questions that you want. So you can engage with INFLIBNET by all these methods. The most important thing, again, it is ONOS and beyond. So it is and beyond I'm talking now. Bharat Open Science Platform, which is again our very latest platform to invite journal publications and scholarly publications standalone to share in an open science kind of a model. This is a model made in India, open to the world. Okay? So what is BOSP? The BOSP is committed to advancing open access publishing in India through initiative that supports researchers, institutes, and the academic community. Now, these are the three distinct components in the BOSP. We give a completely free open publishing platform for the journals. The Indian journals today are not doing very well, I should be very honest with you all. Some of them are good, a very few of them, but a large number of them are struggling. And basically, when we engaged with them, they are struggling for IT support, they're struggling for the publishing processes and such things. So we saw that they were at various stages, they needed hand-holding. And this is why the BOSP came into the picture. And in BOSP, we even have the paper pledge. I know paper pledge is understood as different things in different parts of the world. What we are doing is the APC paid papers from India. We are asking our scientists and our scholars who already paid APC to pledge their paper, a copy of it into this paper pledge part of the BOSP. And we also run the retraction database. Like I said, we do India rankings. Last year, for the first time, India rankings introduced a negative marking for retracted papers. So we help the India rankings by tracing the retracted papers. Not only the retracted papers, but the citations of the retracted papers were also removed from the ranking exercise, and a small bit of penalty was introduced. But next year, India rankings is planning to have a heavier penalty for retractions. So that is where they will take help of our this part of our BOSP. So Rashida is already frowning upon me, so I better come to an end, and you are all also quite tired, so I will skip. I explained to you the features already. So this is the one thing I would like to say. We have a unified search which is called Indra, and Indra is across all these INFLIBNET services, a one-stop platform, a one-stop interface where you can access all of the services I have been talking to you till now. So thanks very much for your patience. And
I didn't realize I have another 5 minutes, so I have to tell her, you have 5 more minutes. I don't think she put anyone to sleep, isn't it? It's just so mind-blowing. As a librarian, this is, I would say, a dream come true. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? So I've like... I will open the floor for questions from anyone, and we have until 5:30, unless we can go a little bit more than that. Yeah, Leah said, okay, we can go more than that. So, hence, anyone who would like to ask any questions? No questions? Yes. Pradeep, you? Yeah, oh, the microphone. Microphone, please.
Hello, thanks, Devika. That was a great presentation, and you know, taking us through that evolution was excellent. My question is regarding when INFLIBNET is looking at a possible solution for a problem. There is a lot that is being developed in-house, and then there are commercial providers that are available. So how do you make the decision whether to build in-house and scale it up, or look at commercial solutions that can be built with partnership, or directly embedded into the ecosystem? So I'm really interested in your thinking behind making that selection.
Yeah. Thanks very much for that question. Now, INFLIBNET is very uniquely made. We have a very small number of scientists working permanently with us. Half of the scientists are formally trained in library and information sciences, and exact half of them are formally trained in computer sciences. And this is the happy union that we have in INFLIBNET, which is very, very distinct character compared to anybody else. So if I talk to any the computer science pass-out graduate who is very good coder and try to tell them to make a system for libraries, it takes a lot of investment from my side to go back and forth and say that this is not the coding I want. You have to be sensitive to what a library is and to develop that. So we've done this with certain people, and the development cycle has taken a larger circumference. And since we have these two 50-50% within our own capacities, we home grow the systems. But then certain things we do take, certain kinds of utilities which are very good, well tested and matured, we do take in partnership with. Thank you.
Any other question? And, oh, yes, gentleman at the back, please.
Thank you very much. Nils Stern from Directory of Open Access Books and OEPN. Thank you very much for your interesting presentation and amazing initiative. I really admire that. I'm moderating a session tomorrow morning about open access books in Asia, and I would be curious to know how you could envision your initiative, maybe in collaboration with other countries, supporting more open access to scholarly books and infrastructures for open access books. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Again, that's a very important question. I was in a room where Dr. Prashant Pandey was chairing just this afternoon, and I heard a presentation on books, on open textbooks for students, and the speaker was saying that it's so difficult for students to buy textbooks which have become expensive, and why don't they look at OER repositories for equivalents of those textbooks which they can't afford. And that really made me interested, and immediately my colleague Kruti was with me, and I said, what is INFLIBNET doing about this? So the conversation started today, and she told me that INFLIBNET was doing this a while back, and somehow that took a backseat. And sorry. Under the India Archives project, we want to sort of revive open access to open access materials, not only e-books, but various things, whatever is open access and available out there through our platform. That's certainly something that crossed my mind today. Thank you.
Gentleman here.
Hello. Namaste, ma'am. My name is Amit, and I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I'm from RMIT University. And in a couple of times you've mentioned scientists and I guess publishers or publications, that is, the connotation is that it has to be scientific or STEM or anything like that. Is humanities and social sciences a big part of INFLIBNET's part of ONOS going forward in phase 2 or phase 3?
Phase 1. 27 right. Categories of scopus are included. That's the entire spectrum.
Okay.
That's STEM plus HSS plus social sciences, everything.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Yes, the lady right here. Microphone, please.
Thank you for the great presentation. I'm an Indian and I'm super proud of it. I'm also a researcher, been in the system, so it's really proud. Thank you for representing us. So I had this curious question, which I also put on the event app. After 1 year of ONOS, what is that you're most proud of to see? What is the best outcome? I know you mentioned at the start that you were proud that it has democratized the access of content to many more universities. But after 1 year of actually implementation, what is that you're most proud of?
Yeah, this is something, 1 year is not enough to study that, but what we want to study is how it's actually impacted these state universities that I was talking about. Say, even if 10, 15 or some of them come up with very good research papers, which they could not even afford to read it before. Yeah. Now, if they can write those papers, so that will be, again, a moment of pride, but we are looking at these stories. As 1 year is 1 year was actually not even 12 months for us, because before we implemented, it was March end of last year. Yes. So it has been a short time for, so on ground, I am expected, if I'm very honest, in 3 years' time. Something should really be evident. The story should be more evident, how people use these resources and what difference it made to them.
Thank you.
We have one over there. Microphone, please.
I was fascinated to hear about your open access repository, and I was wondering if INFLIBNET was considering something like the rights retention strategy in requiring that all papers are deposited there, which may not be the published versions, but the accepted version, because the research has been done and it should be available.
Exactly. This is called N-1 version of the papers to be deposited, which again needs us to go into discussions and negotiations. I have contacted colleagues who have successfully done this in France, like countries, and Spain. And we are trying to study those models where they did have successful negotiations, where the N-1th version has found its way to national repositories. I'm again very much interested in pursuing this, and we are doing it as we speak. Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, I have one final question. May I? Oh, wait,
Oops, yeah.
Oh, there, sorry.
Yeah. I'm Frank Vasquez from the open access publisher Frontiers. I have a question. So first I wanted to thank you for the nice presentation. It's great to see the speed at which ONOS is advancing and is being implemented. My question relates to support to open access. And so you mentioned the 5% top journals that can benefit from the open access fund. And I was just wondering, where do you see this support evolving in the future? Are you going to include more journals, vet some publishers, or something like that?
Yeah, as I said, we are going one step at a time, and we first announced 1%. Yeah, you're right, I didn't include that word in my speech. It's open access journal, the 1% open access journal. And then we moved it to 5%, thinking that if more people have got acceptance, then let it. So it is simply now a wait and watch how much people would really respond to this, because it's very early days to make a comment on this. Of course, the grand vision is to go all out open access, but we will take it at one step at a time. Thank you.
Any others? No? Oops. Okay, I have two questions. The first one, I noticed that the provision of an ISBN number is under the Ministry of Education. In one of your slides, International Standard Bank. Okay, is the National Library under the Ministry of Education in India? That's one. The other one is I'm very interested in, well, actually two. One is Sharani, but I'll talk to you in private on that one. The other thing is on the academic repository for patent. Now, how much of those patents which has already been deposited in INFLIBNET is that, and then the impact of it into the industry? Yeah.
The National Library is not the agency to give away ISBNs. It's called the Rajaram Mohan Roy Agency, which it is named. It was there earlier, but now that also is ceased, and we have somehow taken over the role without formally being announced about it. So we are doing this. Sharani, I would like to talk to you and all the Sharanis in this room if you want our help to establish your own SHE research networks. We will help you to establish this. Please join this. It need not be only the lionesses in India. Lionesses anywhere are welcome. And the third?
The patent.
The patent database, as I said, it is yet to be formally inaugurated. It is our latest offering now. Okay. But even then, what we did was to even start with, we have curated 10 years of data, which was already there in other databases, which covered the university patents of India. We have curated that ourselves. But now we will make it participatory, where the universities will start populating about their patent.
Great. Oh, great. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Last? No? No more? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Professor Madalli. Thank you. Really wonderful.
Thank you.
Over to you, Leah.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Dr. Madalli and Dr. Bulhassan again for a wonderful presentation, a wonderful close to the day. This is our final presentation, and I would like to invite all of you to join us at our gala dinner tonight that will start at 7 p.m. It'll be located in the Siam Yacht Club downstairs on the ground level. So the entry is through the other side from where the breakfast is usually. So they'll have signage and staff down there to help you find your way. We'll have tables all along the beautiful riverfront here, and it will close with a firework display at around 8:15 or 8:30. So please join us there. Thank you very much. See you at the dinner.